Welcome to 254Promo, a show where we're discussing the political future of this country as young Kenyans. Today, my guest is Wamathai. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you for
I
having
really
me.
appreciate you honoring the invitation.
Thank you.
As I said, we are here to discuss our country has a lot of potential,
Indeed.
which we feel as young Kenyans has not been realized, partly because of bad governance, bad leadership, and we're here as young Kenyans to talk, discuss, and chart the way forward for our country so that we don't repeat the same mistake that we repeat every 5 years.
Indeed.
The election is around the corner on 4th March. The court today ruled about it. So we have to get it right this time. Yeah. So, karibu sana.
Thank you.
As a young Kenyan who lives in Nairobi,
Yeah.
what do you feel are the challenges facing young Kenyans?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the very first thing would be for those that want to start businesses or are in business, access to funds. I mean, of course, there's also the thing about insecurity. I mean, there's that as well, and there are those back to the money thing. I mean, there are those who want to further their education. There's money as well. You've seen people trying to go to Uganda, to get better education. I mean, and back to insecurity. If you go back a couple of years, you remember there was a time there was this crackdown on the outlawed sect, and I remember then many people were vilified and many young people lost their lives because if you looked a certain way, if you dress a certain way, then you were judged to be them, and then I'm sure you've heard the stories.
Yeah.
And I at that time and even now, it's in a way it makes you feel that it's a bad thing to be young, yeah, because we don't have that many opportunities, even employment opportunities. I mean, let's talk about that. And even those, like I said, who want to go into business, I mean, even getting a leg up is a problem. And if you want to expand, if you're already started one, it's so easy. Yeah.
So you feel as a young Kenyan living in Nairobi, a lot of young people want to start businesses.
Indeed.
But they don't have the opportunities to do so. Like they don't have access to capital.
Exactly.
And there's no platform for them maybe to expand their business or even start.
Yeah.
And you also feel, okay.
Yeah, there is. I mean, for instance, there's a youth fund. I feel, I mean, it is really underutilized, and the wrong people are getting funds. And this is not a Nairobi thing. I think it's something that that is countrywide, and we don't necessarily have the cash doesn't necessarily have to come from the government. I mean, it should be easier across the board. As a young person, for me to access, if I have good credit, for me to access these funds to expand my business. As it is now, most banks ask for title deeds and that kind of thing, which in my opinion is not helpful. So I mean, I don't know, it maybe legislation will help that. I don't know, or maybe the youth fund could be bolstered in a way that they'd be given more money and more leeway so that they could fund more businesses. And this time they actually fund the youth and not people who purport to be the youth.
So what kind of policies would you like these people who are going around campaigning to form the next government? What kind of policies or legislation would you like them to pass so that we can address that problem?
I think the very first thing is education. I would love to see a candidate who is really passionate about education, because what happens is, I mean, if I'm going to set up a business, a good business, and something that will employ many people, I need a certain frame of mind. I need an entrepreneurial spirit. I need to be innovative. I need to have imagination. Unfortunately, if our education system is not good, if that foundation, that base is not good, then unfortunately even if these people get funds, get credit, they won't be able to set up good businesses. So I want to hear people talking about education and good education and education that starts that focuses on the foundation, early childhood education, and up to tertiary. And if it's possible, it's something that the government pays for. Yeah, if you know, if the money is there, because I mean, I see very many universities now even having branches all over the country, but unfortunately, what they're producing, I mean, is not the best. The graduates who are coming out of these colleges,
Yeah.
do not really have. I mean, they're educated, but they don't. The skills that they have are not life skills. They're not for the current market. So when they come into the market, they then have to be in a way re-educated
Again.
Yeah, again. Yeah.
And I also think there's a problem where our education system
Yeah.
teaches us from nursery school to university that you're learning to get a job. I think that mindset needs to be changed, that you can learn to become anything.
Yeah.
And also, like, we have a system which recognizes talent. Even if you're getting a D or an E,
Yeah.
and you're excelling, you have another skill or a talent somewhere,
Yeah.
at least the system can reward you for that. There's a question of unemployment.
Yeah.
We have all these guys who are campaigning again as presidents, governors, all these posts. They're going around saying we create opportunities for youth.
Yeah.
But no one of them is telling us, I'll create jobs. Yes, you're saying that.
Yeah.
But how are you going to create those jobs?
Yeah.
So that we can question the rationale you'll follow to create those jobs. What's your take on that issue?
I think that campaigning in Kenya has, for as long as I've been alive, or for as long as I've followed it, it has never been issue based. It's always about, in my opinion, it's always about posturing and showing how politician A is better than politician B, and some of the things that they claim to have done, it's something that the central government is doing. So I mean, that is the way that we should go. Campaign should be issue based, and people should say, I'm going to do A, and this is how I'm going to do it, and so that and it's on record, such that if that person doesn't deliver, then you can then go back and tell them, hey, yeah. But what happens is it's people just make what some people in Kenya like call roadside declarations, so that you appear popular, and then you never follow it up. For instance, when you after you're elected, it's a wrap. You never follow up on that. Yeah. So I think it should be issue based. So when you say, I mean, like you said, when a politician say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, then A, they should show how it should be done, and B, people should actually hold them into account. I think from where we've come from, I think we should be patient, and we should be like this. A, we should never give up. We should never give up on our electoral system. We should always vote, but we should always hold them into account. And then, if they don't do what they promised, we just move on to something else, to someone else, and we be serious about it.
But I don't think we are ready to be electing guys 5 years. We elect you, then we wait for 5 years. You screw us, then now we say, oh, we are so patient with you. Have your 5 years. Then after 5 years, you get another person. I think it has to start from now. We make the right choice. We vet. But now the question boils down to how we got to equip young people, like every young person, to be informed. Because remember, we are the majority voting bloc. More than 80% of Kenyans are young people. So actually, you can make those choices. But now we have to talk, like where you come from when you go back. Talk to young people there, have a discussion with them. Let's spread the message so that every young person can make nikisema nitapigia mtu fulani kura, nasema nitampigia hiyo kura kwa ile kitu ameniambia atanifanyia, na nimefikiria nikaona Kenya nasema atafanya, it's workable. Is it possible for us to do that as young people?
I think this I mean there's something that I think you should take into account is that I I am advocating for, of course, vote for someone that you think has serious values and will deliver. In case they don't, move on to someone else. But it is actually really possible. It's about measuring, and I think everyone has like innate intelligence. You can tell when these guys are lying, and if you necessarily don't feel someone, just move on to someone who, in your heart, you're feeling, and yeah, this is a person who will deliver what I want.
But Wamathai, are we ready to be testing that model like in 5 years?
You see the thing is, I think in my opinion, mistakes are good. That's how you learn, because we can't. You see, the thing is, you cannot. You see, what I'm being pragmatic, because you cannot see someone's soul. All these guys, like when someone comes to you and tells you this is what I'm going to do, you how do I put it? You can be like 70-80% sure. You can be. What I'm saying is, it is possible to make a mistake, but that's not the end of the world.
But like what I want us to do is, we have made mistakes for so long.
Yeah.
Since 1963.
Yeah.
All this, I hear everyone giving an example of the Asian tigers.
Yeah.
Like how we used to have an economy bigger than them.
Yeah.
But right now you cannot even compare our economy with that.
Yeah.
And it's all because of what? Mismanagement, bad leadership. So if we've made all these wrong decisions since 1963, why should we repeat the same mistake?
No, I think you got me wrong. What I'm saying is, vote for someone, vote for, in your opinion, the right leader. But in case you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. That is what I'm trying to say.
What we want to do is, we want to set parameters for the right leaders.
Yeah.
We have to have a common denominator of who a right leader is. For example, we want someone who is a person of integrity, someone who will not go and eat our money and stuff. Second thing, we want someone who can be a manager, because we will be entrusting you with a lot of money, or CDF cash.
True.
Governor will be like the president of the county. We need someone who is a good manager. We need someone who is creative, someone who will creatively solve our problems. So I think when you have a common, like we have certain parameters, the rest you can come and tell us. But at least we are gauging you with our parameters. Which parameters should we as young people set for these leaders?
There's one thing. I think the very first thing, of course, is that issue. Is that issue of integrity, but also performance. Integrity is nothing without performance.
Yeah, true.
And then something else. I think we need a very, very strong judiciary. In case someone is caught doing something, you are prosecuted, and then of course, if you're prosecuted, then that means that you have to resign your position, and then we really need that. For me, the number two is integrity and performance. Because you can be the best person in the world, but you're actually not doing anything.
So say someone is a newcomer. Like for example, someone is a newcomer. How are we able to gauge whether this guy is a performer or not?
It depends on where. But if we're talking, for instance, as the governor, this guy has a mandate. Their schools, their roads, their hospitals, their in a financial year, he has to show us what you see. Of course, there has to be a budget. So there's what he intends to do, and then at the end of the year, what has he done? He actually has to show tangible. He actually has to show projections, and then at the end of the year, tangibles. What have you done? And then there needs to be. Even as a citizens, we actually need to follow up, because these things are in the public domain even today. We actually need to follow up, and if in case there's a place where there's corruption or mismanagement or non-performance, we actually we actually raise our voices and ask questions.
But that will happen after we have elected them. So my question was, before we elect them,
or before you elect
what
them,
basic parameters should we set for them?
okay.
Yeah.
Their track records, elsewhere, because you see, of course, for instance, you cannot you cannot want to be a chief executive of say, of Nairobi as a governor, and you've never held such a position before. We want to see what you've done, your CV. That kind of thing. That is what, in my opinion, we should use to judge them in the beginning, if they've never been in office before. If they have been, then look at the record. The public, if they've been in the public service, look at what they've done. Yeah.
You've heard it. We as young people, we are setting parameters for those guys who are seeking leadership in our country. And we have, Wamathai has said, we have 3 basic parameters for them. 1, a person of integrity. 1, a person of a performer, either where you are serving, or if you're not been serving as an MP, we have to know what you've been doing before that. Another thing, we need someone who is managing skills, someone who will manage our resources in the rightful manner. So Wamathai, I've heard you.
Yeah.
You've said what we need. We need to set basic parameters.
Indeed.
For our leaders.
Indeed.
And it's very important as young people, we know the parameters we are setting. That's a common denominator.
Yes.
If you want to be a leader, this is what you have to possess: certain skills and character.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming to the show. What's your parting shot? What do you want to tell young people of this country?
I'd like to tell them to vote, vote wisely, vote with their hearts and their minds, not their wallets or their tribes. And in case anyone gives you money, take that money, use it to buy food or whatever, and just vote for someone that you actually believe in. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Santi sana. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.